call. Hey guys, welcome. So we're gonna wait a minute for Kelly Cox to join us. So we're gonna talk today with Kelly live, ask her some questions. I'm gonna share some of her stats, and let's see. Can't wait to chat with Kelly. Once she joins, I will add her into the call or Facebook Live. So hopefully we won't have any technical issues. I'm gonna text her really quick and let her know that we're here because I don't see her on here yet. And hopefully we don't have too much noise from my dogs in the background. I see Alicia and Julie. Welcome, guys. Let's see. Just gonna message Kelly really quick. And once she joins, we'll add her in. There's Acacia. Hey, girl. So I'm looking forward. Okay, it says Kelly's here. Let's see. Where is she? It says live viewers. Let's see. We're going to add her in just a minute. So just bear with us. It does take a minute when you do Facebook Live. We're going to share the screen together. Hi, Arian. Welcome. We're just waiting for Kelly to join us. And then once she joins, I'll be able to add her. Let's see. Maybe she's on here now. Let's see. I'm seeing all sorts of people. Kelly says she's here. Okay, I see Kristen's here, Julie's here, Arian, Acacia, Alicia. Of course, it's not showing me Kelly. Just give me 1 second. All right. Natalie's here. Hey guys, I'm so glad you're here. Just give us another second. She's saying she's posted 5 times. It's not showing comments for some odd reason. Hey, I think we're back. Are we here? I'm inviting. She's connecting. Yay, it worked.
All right, so I had to hit some little button, but I've been like, I'm here. I'm right here. Can you see me?
It's so strange because I can see all the live viewers, but it wasn't showing you. So I'm glad that it worked out.
Yay. Okay, good. I'm glad I hit that random button. I was like, I have no idea what this is going to do, but I'm going to hit.
Well, I sent you something that asked you to be a guest. I'm like,
oh, okay. That's what I had to put to prove me then. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. So thanks so much. We've got several people on. So what I love is we've got people that are going to be able to be here live, but then we will be able to play it back. We actually are going to also, I figured out a way to take a Facebook Live video and turn it into a YouTube video. So we'll be able to share it with other teams. You can share it on your smaller team pages if you'd like. So just a heads up there. So before we dive in, I thought I would lead in with some stats. For those of you that either haven't, I know we've got some newer girls on here that are rocking it, like Arian and some Alicia. You maybe haven't ever met Kelly. So I thought I would introduce Kelly to those of you, Natalie as well, that maybe haven't officially met her before and know a little bit more about her. I'll share her stats for this month, and then I'm gonna interview her. We're gonna ask questions. We're gonna find out how she's doing, what she's doing this month, but not even just this month, just in general, but this month her stats are like really high, and I want us to all learn. I want to learn. So for those of you that don't know, Kelly Cox is a Platinum Director on our team. She is one of, how many Platinum Directors in the total company? 6?
I think there 5 of us or 6 of us on the call right now. Yeah, on the platform.
Yeah. So there's in the entire company, there's only 5 plus, maybe 6 platinum directors and above, and Kelly happens to be one of those. So she's representing us on those calls with Danielle each week. But amazing stylist. She's been around for 8 years, a little over 8 years. She signed up underneath Jenny Foley, and then Jenny signed up under me. So we all 3 joined like 8 years ago. We went to our first hoopla together. That's where we all realized and heard Jessica speak. We all realized, whoa, this is amazing, and we want to be in this for the long haul. So we have been able to connect and all see each other. Kelly lives in Virginia, and the majority of our team here is in the Midwest. So we get to see each other at hoopla each year and different events like that. So it's a great way for this interview for us to hear from Kelly a little bit more than we normally get to. So Kelly is, for those of you that I'll give a little bit more background besides just her sales and sponsoring stats for this year so far. But Kelly is a mom and wife. She's got 3 boys, and all age ranges, I'm going to try and get this right. Freshmen, right? Because our kids are similar ages. Freshmen all the way down to what?
5th.
6th grade?
5th.
Okay. Yeah. So she's got 3 boys that keep her very busy. She actually is a doctor. So you'll hear us call her Dr. Cox for fun, but she literally has a PhD in psychology, specifically women's psychology, right? Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, was an area that she really enjoyed and studied. So she loves empowering women, helping other women succeed and do well. So that's a passion of hers. So obviously Stella Dot is a great fit. She was a professor and then hung up that hat, so to speak, for a little bit while she had the boys, because she wanted to be able to have that time with them. But when she found Stella Dot, it was the perfect mix of, which a lot of us have that story, that it's the perfect mix of being able to be the mom that you want to be, but also have a little bit of something for yourself. So you can correct me if I'm wrong in any of that area when I hand it over to you, Kelly. But so that's a little bit of background about who Kelly is. And what I wanted to share were her stats for this month, because that's kind of, what raised a fun little flag for me to say, let's get you on an interview for our team. So Kelly, this month alone has sold, so some of these stats are really cool. She sold over 7,400 this month with, going into the month, she had 6 trunk shows booked. And what I want to clarify with the trunk shows, and we're going to ask you a question about this, Kelly, because I want to hear as well. But you've got the 7,400 in sales for the month. You had the 6 trunk shows. You have sponsored 5. 4 of those trunk shows were with hostesses who are now stylists, and 4 of the 5 that signed up this month. So that means 4 of her trunk shows have 0 sales essentially because those hostesses signed up to be stylists, which is a great concept. So for those of you that have never thought about, we kind of call it flipping a hostess, because obviously they love the product. So why not share the opportunity with them? And so that's what Kelly did. But let's keep in mind, she had 6 trunk shows. She still has 7,500 in sales. So that means she held 2 strong shows. One I did look up. It's essentially 3,000 in sales. I want you to just share a little bit about that because I believe it was a fundraiser. So I think people can learn from that. But so when I did the math really quick, Kelly, you've got 7,400 essentially in sales for the month. 3,900 of those sales came from the 2 in-home trunk shows that you held. The one was the $3,000 fundraiser. The other one was like a $900 show, which is right where most of us want to be, right? So then you've got outside sales of 3,500 this month, which is amazing. So I do want to hear a little bit about that. I think I know a little bit about where some of those came from. I think some of it might be from all the trunk shows you held last month. But so just sharing those stats are amazing. So she has sponsored 5 this month, just to clarify again. 4 of those were hostesses, and then the 5th, I do have a question about that. So that's just kind of the recap. Before we dive in, Kelly, because I do have specific questions to kind of each of those stats that you can talk to, I wanted to just share with the team what I was able to see as I look even to this summer. You had an amazing 10-day family vacation with the boys and your husband, Kevin, in Hawaii, surfing, having, I mean, wonderful lifetime vacation that you wanted to give these boys, right? You went straight from that 10-day vacation and came to Hoopla in Las Vegas. And then I think you may have, after Vegas, had a couple vacations as well. So what I want to share with people and inspire them with is the fact that we all do say in the summer, sometimes we want to kind of, you know, style this around our lives, right? But what you did is you styled it around your life of being able to have that precious family time with these boys that are near Wyatt's age, and you and I have talked. Before we blink our eyes, they're going to be gone, right? Yeah. So you had this awesome, precious time with them and continued to have some great family time, but you might have slowed down, but you still consistently were easily selling over 2,000 a month. You made sure to fit that in. And then you didn't lose momentum as you headed into, obviously, the fall months. So I do kind of want to talk about that, because I know sometimes we talk about slowing down in the summer, and I think some people, slow down to them means just halt and pause. Yeah. It will be so much harder to restart going into August, September, to build up to where you have an amazing, strong October like you're having. Yeah. So I kind of do want to talk about that a little bit. So I'd love for you to share a little bit, before we dive into more of October, how you managed travel and family time in the summer with your business, and how you kind of strategically worked your business this summer so that you didn't lose momentum.
Yeah, it was the perfect opening actually for this, because the thing I wanted to make clear right off the bat is how much this business is about momentum. It really is. Everything in this business, doing this for 8.5 years, I've learned that when I check out completely, the getting started again process is so tiring. So for me, I never check out completely. When I'm on vacation, yes, I put my business on pause, but I'm also very strategic about, we had our dream trip to Hawaii. We were invited literally the day after I got back from Hoopla to go drive to New Hampshire with good family friends. It was one of those invites you get once in a blue moon. We wanted to go to their beautiful lake house, and it just was a no-brainer. Like, I normally would not schedule a vacation right after Hoopla. And then my dad, who has just gone through cancer, was like, let's all go to the lake. And we went to another lake in Virginia, and that was at the very end of the summer. None of those things were negotiable. Like, Kevin and I have been saving up for Hawaii for a very long time to take our children. The friends trip was such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And then my dad, there was no way I was saying no to him, even though I was thinking in my head, oh my gosh, I can't do another vacation. But those things are hands down the more important things in life. But I also know that I love this business, and momentum is so important in this business. And if I were to check out, then it would be so much harder to get going again. So even though my sales might have looked lower during the summertime, that wasn't for lack of effort. That was simply doing as many shows as I can in between. But I will tell you, like, I had quite a few months in the late spring into summer where booking wasn't coming easily for me. So just don't think when you watch this, oh, she just books all the time. She sponsors all the time. And that doesn't mean I'm not trying to do those things all the time. And some of you might be sitting here right now being like, I'm making the effort, I'm doing the work. But what happens in this business is it's like a wave. It's like it starts to build, it starts to build, it starts to build. And guess what? So many people, when they're in that building up phase, stop taking action. And when you do that, when you stop taking action, it's just going to fall apart. But if you keep applying the effort, applying the effort, applying the effort, applying the effort, then all of a sudden the wave starts to fall and you just get to ride it for a while because the momentum is there behind you. So know that the only difference between me and the momentum I have is that I just kept going. I kept going through the spring and the summer where they weren't coming as easy to me. And I figured I got creative. I got creative about doing, when I couldn't book an in-home show, I did a pop-up. I started learning about online. I'm like, okay, I guess I better figure this online thing. Like, I don't know how to do it, and technology is not my thing, but I better figure that out. Instagram, like my 12-year-old was noticing my account. He's like, you really are bad at Instagram. He's like, you really need to use Instagram more. So I figured that out. So I just, whenever you're not in a place where you want to be, if you know you're taking all of the actions and you're not necessarily getting the results yet, get creative, but keep going. It is this business, everything is pouring in right now is from literally months of doing my reach outs, doing my 10-4, doing my, filling in my holes. So yes, if I have a crazier month, I had a month 2 years ago when we went to Europe and I literally had 7 days that month that I could do trunk shows, like 7, but I made sure I filled them with like 4 or 5 trunk shows. So for me, the flexibility is such a blessing, but it's never an excuse. Like me wanting to have, if I want all these fabulous things, if I want to show my family the world, if I want to earn this income and, grow a big, strong team, not doing it is never an option. It's just figuring out ways that I can do it to stay strong around my life and around my family. So momentum is everything. And once we get to October, I'll break down exactly like who these hostesses were, when I started talking to them about it, and all of that. But that is truly the big overarching message is the only difference between people who do well in this business and those who don't is the people who quit are the people who keep going and get creative and actually put in those little daily steps that make a difference. If you look at people who have big promotions or big this or big that, they are sitting at their desk every day like Jenn is, and she's making a to-do list and she's checking off her list and she's filling the hours that she knows she needs to fill to get the results that she wants. And for you, that might be if you want to make an extra $1,000 a month, then that's talking to 40 people to book 4 trunk shows. So it comes down to just those little daily actions. It's kind of like going to the gym. If you don't go to the gym every day, you're not going to see results. So, which I clearly don't. So like in this business, I'm very, very good about showing up.
Yeah, we have our priorities.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. And that's what I wanted people to hear too, is that it's not that you just sat back and kicked your feet up all summer long and just got lucky with some 2,000 plus in sales every month to hit what you wanted to hit at a minimum. And then suddenly October just is fabulous because it's October, Yeah. It was what I also love, and people can't see, because I love reports. And so I can see and dig in. And like you said, what I love is last month you got creative. You weren't getting all of the in-home, and correct me if I'm wrong in saying some of this, but I recall from some of our conversations, you weren't getting the in-home trunk shows that you wanted, as many as you wanted. You got some.
Yeah.
So you thought, okay, I'm going to give this online thing a try. And you booked like 10, maybe?
11 online shows. Yes. And coming out of nowhere from never doing online shows before, really. Or the ones I did do were total flops.
Right. So now, when you go look at the numbers, some of them were zeros and flops, but some of them were 500, 600, 800. And we all know that that's part of this business.
Yeah.
That's especially that portion of the business. But that was additional sales that you wouldn't have had if you hadn't opened up that segment and that opportunity for your business. So, and you had I think over a $5,000 sales month last month.
I did. And most of those were from online shows. I had one good in-person school charity show. It was a private school. It was the New Community School is what it's called in Richmond. And we just set up during a soccer game. So the boys soccer team was playing and the girls volleyball team was playing. And I just put a little table under a little awning outside and ended up having a good, strong show there. And then some of those outside orders, the school was really good about constantly sending out my link and, saying all the proceeds are going to the school. Charity shows, you guys, are the way to go. They are going to introduce you to so many more people. You are going to get so many orders because people are doing it for a good cause. They're shopping for a good cause. It's an amazing tax write-off. Anytime my business needs a jump start, a charity show is the fastest way to get it. But I will do as many as I can get, because for me, honestly, I'm donating 2 hours of my time and leveraging my business for good. And one of my hostesses, I'll tell you about in a little bit, that signed up this month, literally is doing it purely as a charity avenue, a way to very easily, women come, they treat themselves, and you can cut a check for whatever charity.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So that I knew that was part of what you do. It seems like lately about once a month you have one of these fundraising shows.
Yeah.
So It depends on you guys and what you want out of your businesses, but some people do one per quarter or whatever it is. But like Kelly's saying, it jumpstarts because it puts you in front of so many new people that you wouldn't have met otherwise, and that have probably a cause near and dear to their heart. So it just really helps you connect and meet with people that you wouldn't have met otherwise. So I think that's strategic as well for people to note that about once a month you're offering to do one of these types of shows. So okay, so what I wanted to then jump into is knowing that summer was what it was and you worked your business around it, but you meanwhile were consistently reaching out, probably using the 10-4,
yeah,
I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I love charts. I love notes. I love like constantly. I'm a handwritten girl. I mean, I will try to add something to my notes page on my phone every once in a while, but for the most part, every time I think of somebody, I'll have like a little notepad nearby and I'll jot down their name and I'll make sure I follow up with them. So always, whenever you think of that person who would be a great stylist on your team, whenever you think about that person who would be a great potential hostess, jot it down, because otherwise you'll forget. You'll go back to your regular life and you'll totally forget about it. And going back to September really quick, I actually had 4 in-home trunk shows for the last week that were both the online and in person. And everybody ended up just opting for online, which I will tell you, after doing a month full of in-person trunk shows, if you can book an in-person trunk show right now, take that every day of the week over an online show. It is so much easier, so much less work, and the sales are higher. So I will default to an online when I can't get an in-person, but hands down, in-persons are so much easier, especially this time of year. If I were you, I would always offer in-person first for the holiday season, and then layer in onlines with the people that are nose to that. And I actually have been layering on after a trunk show ends, and I think this is important because in September, I tried to like start an online show and then have the pop-up in the middle of the week and then finish the online show. And that's why all hostesses were like, you know what, let's just stick with online. I think this is working. And then the sales were lower. So I do think that if you have an in-person, do the in-person first and then open up for the following week an online like add-in for people who couldn't.
Smart idea. Yeah. I love that. So in using the 10-4, will you kind of share with us, so because specifically these 6 shows that you booked for October, knowing that September was heavier in online shows, which isn't the norm for you, and you were using the 10-4 to book these 6 shows in October, will you just, I think people, they want to know every detail. It's just like with, if you lost 50 pounds, would want to know exactly what you put in your mouth at 8 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m. So how are you being able to book shows? Is it through texting? Are you physically picking up the phone? Are you emailing? What's working best for you?
Yeah, here, I'm going to look at my list. I was just jotting down the names of the girls. So the first thing I do is whenever a new line comes out, I do an in-person new line launch and sample sale. And I always book a lot of my fall through that. So if you haven't done your own show yet this fall, that's step 1. Book it for like 4 days from now. Like, what's today? Today is Tuesday. You could literally throw it together for Thursday or next Sunday or the following Tuesday, but have it and the earlier you do it, if you can squeeze it in October, even better, because when people are in front of it, they have these big long lists. They're so excited and they want it all.
Oh, hold on. Maybe she'll pop back. Hopefully she didn't lose power. Are you guys there with me? Will you give me like a like if you're still there? I am frozen. Yes. Okay, so she's messaging. Okay. Let's see. I know. Oh, she went away. Okay, let's see if I can get her to add back. Bear with us, ladies. Okay. Give us just a second. Let me see if she pops up. good information so far. So we don't want to lose out on the rest of the balance of the info. So just bear with us. I'm going to see if she can hop back on. We're messaging over here as well. So I'm just trying to get her. Yay, she wants to join. Okay, I think we're getting her back. Thanks, guys. Yay!
Okay, so that was someone just called in. I hope it doesn't do that every time someone doesn't call. Like I hope there's a way. Someone just called my phone and I hit decline.
Yeah.
And it froze me. Okay, so hopefully nobody calls me for the next hour.
Right?
Or the next 30 minutes. Okay, so what were we talking about? Oh, so booking shows. So that is always, honestly, you guys, don't overthink it. Just literally blast out invites. I personally, just FYI, I'm kind of going away from Hobnob for the month of November. I feel like it's funny. I have a lot of feedback because all my hostesses from October signed up and they were like, yeah, I didn't love it. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. October, I'm not going to do it. So I'm doing, Evite now has got a text and an email option. And then I, of course, always print hand invites. I print 20 for every hostess with many lookbooks. So if at all Hobnob is throwing you off from doing shows, cut it. Like that's nothing. Like no big deal.
And to your point, for our team, I just did a Facebook Live for you guys last week that was all on hostess coaching and an invite system and addressing the issue of Hobnob and to either use paperless post or Evite if you're not comfortable. No matter what, we've got, and the whole, exactly what Kelly was saying, don't just depend on one form of communication. You need to use different avenues anyways. So between what Kelly just said and that Facebook Live, you've got awesome information to help.
Yeah, Jen can help you guys get all the invites out, but it's really just about running the numbers and inviting enough people, but get people in front of it. But the other people, yes, it has been, I've been reaching out to people who comment on my Facebook posts. I've definitely dramatically increased my number of Instagram posts, my number of Facebook posts. I do post a lot more often than I used to. And every time someone likes something that I post, I immediately follow up with a personal message being like, oh my gosh, I love that hat too. That's so cute. It's actually projected to sell out pretty fast. Let's get your girls number next week and we'll get it for you for free. So I am very interactive with who likes what I post, who comments on what I post. Same thing with my online shows. Like that was my first thing that I had a little bit of a hard time figuring out with online. You know, I could follow up and get the sales, but booking and sponsoring was a little harder. And that personal reach out with knowing what they liked and being like, oh my gosh, why don't we get the girlfriends over and we'll get this for you for free. So that, and you know, when people are on live Facebook Messenger, I think it's a really easy time to chat back and forth. So I do that probably more than anything. And, or I'll comment on something, you know, I'll have commented on someone's picture and then they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then I private message them and I'm like, you and your family are so cute. You know what? Every time I see your scroll, I think of you. I think you'd love what I do. You know, I'd love to tell you more about it. So I think the reach outs just can happen organically like that. If I see someone in person and someone asks about something, I'm like, do you know November is the biggest month to shop? Like everybody's shopping right now. Why don't we get the girls over? Let's have some wine. Everyone's ready for a girls' night. So just take every opportunity, whether it's personally texting somebody, whether it's Facebook messaging them, when they compliment you on something, just go for it. Like just throw it out there and be like, you know, for me right now, this week is 100% opportunity reach out. So huge. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm doing, my words to say, obviously, because I've had so many hostesses sign up. Because I think now I still have 2 more to get qualified, but it's ended up being, Francis launched this morning, had 8 covet orders.
No.
One person ordered 8 covet necklaces. That is just an aside, but holy smokes. Yes, it was insane. We can talk about that later. I mean, that was honestly just it was a grandma purchase and it was awesome. But anyway,
I need to hit up some grandma.
All my hostesses, basically what I said to them when I came in, I just said, look, here's your 2 options. So we've already done the work. Everyone's coming. Show's happening. You can either just have a $250 shopping spree, or we can make this yours and you'll get $250 in cash and $1,100 shopping spree. Which one sounds better? And every one of them was like, well, duh, let's do it. You know, like the cash is gonna be in your pocket by the end of the day. So that was such an easy flip. But what I'm saying now when I'm doing reach outs, if between now and the 31st, because I will tell you all that what happens in the next 8 days is going to determine what November looks like. So if you are reaching out every conversation right now, throw out this deal. Say, okay, I've got this idea. If you do one little show sometime in the next 30 days, then you are going to walk away with $250 in cash and $1,100 in free jewelry. Like, let's do it. What do you think? This deal is too crazy. It's going away in 8 days. And that's going to be my opener. And I will literally, with every single person, if they didn't say, no, I don't think so, I'll be like, perfect. Why don't we just do a girls' night in November? It's the biggest shopping month of the year. Everyone has a holiday shop. They might as well do it for you, and you'll get a big shopping spree. But open it up with that $1,100 and $250 in cash. And they're like, really, just one show? And I'm like, do a show, see what you think. I was like, then you can do whatever you want with it. You can wear it and share it. You know, so many people just sell through like Instagram now. You know, in-home trunk shows are obviously your biggest bang for your buck, but it's your business. You do whatever you want with it. So, and every single one of my girls that signed up this month are all now doing shows. They're excited. They loved it. They had fun with it. So don't think like, oh, I'm just going to lose this great hostess is going to become a stylist and not do anything. Every single one of them are seeing the potential for the future. So that.
Well, and what a perfect time of year. I mean, there's no bad time as we know, but what a perfect time. November is everyone's shopping. So
totally. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing I told these girls. I was like, so the good news is too that from right now it's the 24th, so it's exactly 2 months until Christmas. Your jumpstart are the biggest 60 days of the year. Like huge.
So
that's
true.
a huge advantage too. So every single person could be sitting at a team of 0 right now, just you and you're lonesome. If you really just put the pedal to the metal and reach out to as many people as you can this week with that simple message, you will sponsor 3 by the end of the month, and you could promote to star by the end of November. I promise you, no. If I had 0 at the beginning of this month, I would have hit star this month in 1 month.
Oh, you already would have hit star by now.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're bringing 7,000 to the table, which to note, when you are going for star for the first time, you personally are going to want to bring a good portion of the volume. You know, you don't have to bring 7,000, but you're going to want to bring 4-ish.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or 5, yeah. Yeah, absolutely great. So if you want to talk about that now, do you want to kind of filter into kind of where the sales were coming from? And that's where we can follow yours. We could do that.
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure that we walked through how'd you flip your 4 hostesses. So you already did that. You already shared with us that you said, hey, here's the deal, ladies. Tonight you either earn around $250 in free product or $1,100. Scenario A or B, which one do you prefer, right? And $250 in your pocket for the scenario B. What I wanted to find out, I know 4 of those were, because you've signed up 5 so far, 4 were hostesses, but your 5th, I think I kind of know the story. Will you share how you, because I want the girls to realize, everyone to realize, you're not just offering to hostesses. That just happens to be.
So there are actually, interestingly, so Frances is the one who just launched this morning. She was an online hostess from September and had a good, I think like a $500 online show. And then the special came, or she actually, right when the special was launching, I was like, you know what? I was like, you were so cute on this online show. Like, why aren't you doing this? You're an interior designer. It's a perfect fit. Like, it'll be great. And so she was like, really? Okay. And so she signed up and she just launched today. So she had that online show, but it was nice that she kind of had her in-person show to be her own. So that's one. And then Brooke, Dana, and Heather were all hostesses. Actually, Brooke was an online hostess also from September. And I said, let's do an in-person show. Their sales are always better. You know, people just love to pick it up and try it on and all that. So she was like, okay, sounds good. And I told all of them, not everybody signed up right away. Frances, I think, signed up right away. But the other ones, I said, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just book a trunk show. And between now and the day of your show, if you sign up, we'll make it yours. If you don't, then you just get the big shopping spree. But it made a big difference. So Heather.
Will you say that again?
Yeah, absolutely. I said, if anyone's a maybe for me, then I say, okay, so let's just do this. Let's just get a date on the book at sometime in the next couple of weeks, and I will treat you like a hostess. I'm going to do all your invites for you. I'm going to do the whole shebang. So basically, you're just inviting all your girls over for a girls' night. And if at any point between now and the date of your show, you want to make it yours, I'll send you some info in the meantime. Then we'll sign you up, and it'll be yours. And if not, then you just get the big shopping spree. And so that really is kind of a soft way of letting someone kind of step right into their show. So that was Brooke, Brooke, and then Dana as well. So 3 of those 4 that we booked the show, assuming it was going to become their launch, but they still, all of them signed up like as we were setting up. Like none of them like went for it before. Every single one of them during setup were like, okay, let's do it. And Heather, I went in last Thursday and I was like, okay, I was like, 4 of my last 5 hostesses have signed up because this deal's so good. And she's like, okay, so what is it again? And now Heather, who I've hosted with for years, and she's been on my dream team list for years. And she heard the deal. She's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy not to do it. And now we just met for coffee, and she's got this whole game plan about using this for charities. She's got all these charities people she's reaching out to already. And then the last person, Linda, was a customer on Lisa Collada's online trunk show, who used to be a stylist turned hostess. And it was her mom. She placed a big order, and then she called me immediately, or Lisa called me and said, my mom wants to cancel her order. She just wants to do the stylist deal instead. So I called her back, and Linda said, okay, so I'm retiring in a year. I'm 64, and because of Social Security and all that, she's like, I really don't want to have a lot of sales right now because I don't want to have to worry about taxes getting messed up or Social Security getting messed up. So I called her back and I said, okay, that's totally fine, but let's just do one show. Because I was like, I know you want it all, and you do not want to miss out on $1,100. This is $1,100 shopping spree, which will really be $1,600 when you take that $250. And so she was like, done, let's do a show. So she did a show, and now all of a sudden we're talking and chatting, and she's like, well, I had this person ask me about this, and this person asked me about that. So it really is one of those things that you just have to get out there and just keep it fun and talk about it to enough people. But I do love the idea about booking a show with somebody and then kind of letting them ease into that trunk show.
Yeah. And I love that when you look at the 5 hostesses or stylists that you have sponsored this month, they're all from different age demographic backgrounds. Like the one that you just mentioned, retired. And some are. It's not that they're all cookie cutters of you.
No.
You know?
Oh my gosh. And yeah. The Frances who. Sorry.
You're fine.
Someone's walking by and the dogs are going crazy. Frances this morning is 26. And like you said, I think there's one married with, or Brooke is married without kids. She's really into horses and all of that. And then Heather and Dana both have families and both work full time. So, I mean, it was really, you're right, all walks of life. And I didn't prejudge for anyone. I never prejudged that somebody was too busy. I never prejudged that they wouldn't want to do this. You just talk to everybody about it. And because this fills the cup for so many different people in so many different ways. It is, for some people, it is the friendships. For some people, it is the income. For others, it is having something that's their own. For someone else who works with all men, it is like their girly fix at night, or who have all boys like I do. It just, you don't know what someone is missing in their life or what this could do for their life. So it's kind of not nice to not share it, and I really, sponsoring is truly coming from a place of you've got a gift to offer. And I really do feel that way. And I tell everybody, everything in this business is your perspective. Everything in this business is what you think about it is what other people are going to feel about it. So if you feel like you are offering someone a gift, people will feel like they're getting a gift. If you feel like you're offering whether it's a trunk show, whether it's helping them find a cute necklace, whether it's joining your team, it is all about them, and it's all about what you can do for them. And you have to feel like you're offering them something great. I've seen this change the lives of so many women. I've seen this, make someone's life better. And so for me, I really do feel like I'm giving a gift. So just when you think about offering this, oh my gosh, literally, can y'all hear the dogs?
It's okay. I know. I get it. Thankfully, mine are quiet so far.
2 women are on the street with their dogs talking and just sitting in with their dogs
move
talking.
Along.
I know. Scream out the window. I'm doing a video. That is with everything. So when you are offering someone a girls' night for November, it is. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Jen, talk for a second while I go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me go figure out what's happening.
Absolutely. And I love that point, is that you don't prejudge. I think I was sharing on one of our Facebook Lives recently on our team page that I was in anthropology recently, and they offered me a sales associate position. Kelly, I'm sharing a story that I shared last week on our team page, was that it's this whole gift, concept, and that I was into Anthropologie shopping, one of my favorite places to kind of at least peek and get some inspiration and fill my creative cup a little bit. So I was in there, got to talking with the girl that I do know that works there, and then she introduced me to the manager, was telling them that I had a blog and, you know, all this. So got into this conversation of how I love styling women and just connecting with women. And next thing I know, they're offering me a job, and by no means am I going to take it. However, because it's just a sales position for, you know, making $9 an hour or whatever it is. And I obviously can figure out very quickly that I can book one more Stella Dot trunk show and earn way more than I ever could, probably working there the whole month. But it was tempting in the fact that they're like, it would be so fun, you know, talking about the community, the discount, and you know, filling my creative cup and all that. But at the end of the day, you know, I was like, there's no way I can't fill it in. I really do love what I'm already doing. But thanks so much, because you just
You're flattered. You're flattered.
I was flattered. I was absolutely flattered. So, you know, I know we always talk about it, but that was a perfect example, because I've been out of the like workforce besides Stella Dot for 8 years, and I haven't been offered a job in 8 years. And so even though it was something that isn't, you know, a huge 6-figure or, you know, but it was absolutely flattering. So it just, again, it was a real life example for me to take that thought and how it made me feel and translate that into offering it to other people. It's there, you know, we talk a lot about it being, if you were a waiter or a waitress, you would offer dessert no matter what. If the person wants dessert, they'll take it. If they don't, it's just not the right fit for them that night or whatever it may be. But it's all about, you still offer it. It's their choice. But if you don't offer it, they may not ever receive and have the opportunity of knowing that there's such an amazing gift out there of being a stylist and joining this community. So it's, you know, you got to think of it however it works for you best to kind of think of it. But it is a gift, you know.
And
a lot of us, our lives have been changed.
Yeah, and when you have a month like this where people just keep signing up and signing up and signing up, you realize how many people are out there who would love to do this, and we're just not asking. Like on a typical month, we are just not asking. We aren't, you know? And so it is, we get so hung up on the one person who said, I might want to do this, that we don't talk to the other million people around us who would love to do something like this. And I think so much of it is building the relationships too. That's one thing I've gotten better about doing, is building the relationship through Facebook. So I'm so much more likely now to stop and comment on people's posts. That goes really far. I had an old sorority sister of mine who I haven't seen in 20 years, and she just got married. And I commented on her post how happy I was for her, and, you know, how beautiful she looked. And she then got on my website. I did not mention Stella Dot. She got on my web. She must have looked through my page, got on my website, and placed 2 $200 orders in the next like few hours. So take the time, comment on people's posts, you know, tell them their daughter looks cute, like be social and build that relationship. The same thing as Brooke, who signed up on Sunday. I met her mom, Amy, sitting at the hairdresser. This is in September, like mid-September, and normally I would just dive into my People magazine and enjoy quiet 2 hours of not having to talk to anybody. But instead, I just started asking her about her life, and she was telling me about her job and this and that and this and that, and her mom is cute as can be, and we had the best time. And then I ended up going and doing a show for her, and then Brooke was driving down from Northern Virginia, stopped in her mom's show. She booked a show, and then now she's a stylist on my team. Like, that relationship would have never happened had I not gotten to know her mom, Amy, sitting at the hairdresser. So all of those relationships are super important. Be friendly, be social when you're out and about. Get out there and find creative ways to meet people, because you never know where it's going to take you.
It's so true. And be genuine, obviously, in it.
Totally.
You absolutely are. But I think for some people, they just, you know, it has to be genuine, and that you really, I think so many of us love the connection with other women.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing that when I reach out to book shows, is that I'm just really, you know, life is busy, and we are all running in different, you know, directions. And that I love using this business as a vehicle to connect women and give us the well-deserved time to slow down, soak in some good time with girlfriends over a glass of wine and some shopping, you know. But it's so true. That is something that's a passion of mine, and I long to connect with other women. And so I think when you share genuinely what you want this business to be, people love that and want to support it and want to be a part of it. So
yeah, Kim Jones made a comment the other night. I was after my Northern Virginia trunk show, we went and did a little meetup with her team. And she made a point how when she was first starting to do trunk shows, she had no intention of building this either. If you don't know Kim, she's like total smarty pants, like undergrad, Georgetown, MBA from Darden, like just smart girl. And she just was just doing this for fun. Like she just wanted to get out of her house. She had 3 little girls at home and she was like, just get me out. I wanted to I need social time. I need girl time. But then when she started doing it, she said, what I noticed is the women came in to trunk shows with the weight of the world on their shoulders. They had, a bad day at work, or they had kids all over them, or they had all this stress and these things, women, when we take on so much responsibility and we have all of these heavy things that we carry. And she's like, and then they would have an hour and a half with their girlfriends, drinking a glass of wine, playing dress up, getting to get your friends' opinions on things. Like, she was like, it's so rare for you to be able to go shopping with your girlfriends and actually get legitimate opinions, or how does this look? What should I wear with this? And she goes, and they would leave so light and happy. And she's like, and I realized then what a gift we had to offer, whether it was the opportunity where, someone could leave a job they hated, or whether it's the opportunity to double their income so they can have travel money, or whatever the case may be. Or it might just be for your hostess that she's going to get to offer her friends this really fun girls' night where they get to drink wine and play dress up and feel lighter on their feet when they leave than when they came. So it is definitely a mind switch. You really have to get your head around the fact that you have so much to offer.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to wrap this up by 2:30 so that we stay at an hour. But this is chock full of great information. I think the girls are probably all loving it. I know I am. The one thing that I did, so 2 things, Kelly, before we wrap up. I would love to hear, 3,900 of your sales did come from the trunk shows that you did, okay, and then 3,500's outside. So I'd love to hear just in general, ways that you were being able to pull in those outside sales. And then I thought, if you're up for it, right before we close, we could do a little role play to where, I'm your hostess for that evening. I know you've kind of already shared your words, but just thought that might be another way before we close it out that we can just really kind of hear how that conversation might go. So yeah, I'd love to hear about those outside sales because those are killer.
So a couple of things played into this because, the first thing is I had 4 online trunk shows the last week of September. So out of those 11, 4 of them were that last week. I run my online trunk shows Sunday to Sunday. There's a video out there somewhere where you can watch and kind of hear how I run my online shows. But what I found is the tricky part about an online show is you have to really follow up personally with each person. So while lots of people were engaged and posting and commenting, I wasn't necessarily getting the orders in. So for all of those shows that were ending on October 8th, so they started the whole show ran in September, but they closed on the 8th. And so I really just spent the first reaching out. So reaching out and, reaching out to every single person who liked something, reaching out to every single person who commented on something. And I friended them. And then I private message them. And so I feel like I have all of these new contacts from all of those online shows. So while some of the sales might not have been good, I might have booked a show with the person who wanted all of those pieces. Or I have a great new contact and now they're in my Facebook group and I have that connection that's going to stay with them. So quite a bit of those sales came in from helping those 4 hostesses pull in all those outside orders before their show closed. And I obviously partnered with the hostess to do that. So she got really good about taking the link everywhere. I gave her catalogs and minis to hand out, things like that. So that's a good chunk. It was also partly the closing of that big school fundraiser. So the one that ended up being 3,000, I think, started out at like a $1,500 show. So the other 1,500 came in from the schools doing reach out, and I had a great hostess who was very good about every time she saw someone at school, like, hey, that charity show still, all the proceeds are going, I'll text you the link right now. So she was really good about following up. The other thing that made the sales really high, right? So that was kind of like the early in the month, I had all of those orders coming in. And then I had my charity trunk show for October was on October 4th. So I front loaded the month and I went to Town Bank in Virginia Beach, and it was an ALS fundraising show. So it was a girl a woman who was best friends with my sister-in-law, Karen, who fought ALS all last year. And we did like 3 or 4 really big charity trunk shows for her. And she passed away, unfortunately, at the end of the summer. And so this was like an in memory of her. They were all walking the JT walk in Virginia Beach for her. And so we came in and had a big charity show that way. And then I walked into my trunk shows and ended up, flipping almost all of them. But it gave me it really did give me a very nice cushion for being able to give away those shows. But at the same time, too, I will tell you, even if I hadn't had $7,000 in outside orders, I still would have flipped the hostesses, because having an engaged, happy new stylist will do a million times more things for me than those temporary sales. I can scrape together the sales. If I need to get my 2,000, or if I could give away every show every month, I will do that, because truly, like, having that new team member is going to fuel your business. I will tell you, I just posted on my leader page yesterday, and I did my personal generation, and I showed my top 10 of my personal generation. And if you look, 5 of the top 10 right now for the month of October, which is a pretty big month, are new stylists. It's all these new stylist launches. And for me, that's always a good test of the health of my business. If I have in my personal generation a bunch of jumpstart stylists, then that's a really, really good thing. So anytime your business isn't where you want it to be, the majority of my business comes from my leaders and from my stylist and jumpstart. So if your team isn't where you want it to be, if your volume's not where you want it to be, that's the first place to look. If you personally sponsor as much as you can, those new stylists are going to fuel you. They're going to re-engage you. They are going to, literally, my stylists have been texting me all week and asking me questions, and I had this idea about this, and I had this idea about that, and then it stimulates an idea in me, and I'm like, oh my God, such a good idea. I have a person like that I can reach out to too. They just give you this huge boost of mojo.
Absolutely.
And now I'm taking that momentum and I'm running with it. I'm not stopping at the 5 or 6 stylists that I've signed on this month. I will, between now and the 31st, and I'm going to continue doing this obviously throughout every month, but I'm going to take that mojo and run with it, because that's the other thing. When you start to book the shows and you get that momentum, don't stop and be like, okay, I'm good. I've got my 5 shows for November, because momentum is momentum. And if you just keep going, going, it just snowballs. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But the key is just getting out there and making those connections. The other outside orders, I have to say, because of my son's coaching on Instagram, I feel like I have been really good about everyone who likes a post on Instagram. I personally message them. So if someone likes something I posted, if I know their email address, I will go ahead and add it to a bag for them and do the share bag. And that has dramatically increased my outside orders. But if I don't know them, I will start following them on Instagram, and I'll private message them and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you love this. I'd love to get it for you. If you shoot me your email, I'll put it in a bag for you, blah, blah, blah. Or I'll follow up with possibly a hostess or a stylist opportunity. So I'm really being good about seeing who is commenting, liking, posting, and taking it that next step and following up with them and helping them place that order.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, huge outside sales. Some people would love to have just your outside sales as their
But my history, like I never had that before. So it is truly me just getting creative, thinking of ways, because all of these different ways now are like, if I'm out and about, I was at a tennis match and I had on the little white and gold wrap bracelet, and she was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I totally want that bracelet. I immediately went home, put it in a bag right then and there. Shopping is an impulse thing. You have to act right away. So if someone tells you they like something or want something, immediately get it into their hands. All they have to do is check out.
So some things that I heard from that conversation and you explaining how you built all those outside sales, it was the end of September where you had 4 online shows that ran, for 2 weeks, but you ran it Sunday to Sunday through Facebook. So we're looking at the last week of October right now. It could be very strategic, I'm hearing, for a lot of us to book, because you can book online shows last minute, to book 3-4 shows this week. And imagine when it bumps into November of next month, that 2-week drop off where you have to get your orders in by, as long as you're making those one-to-one connections and communicating with those people, absolutely you could pull in those outside sales. But because people shop impulsively, like you said, and then also when they know there's a true deadline. So you'll get a lot of people that shop on the back end of the show. So that was one key takeaway in addition to everything else. But I just wanted to recap that because that's huge. A lot of us could be booking 2, 3, 4 online shows this week and really capitalize on starting our month a little bit stronger with outside sales in November.
Yeah.
So I loved hearing. The other thing that I wanted to mention and make sure we all take note of, you're very right, Kelly, in the fact that obviously you have 7,000 in sales, which is amazing. You would have been fine if you had 2,000 in sales and still signed up 5 people. What I'm excited to share and I want to make sure everybody kind of realizes home office has tweaked a requirement for us recently. So anybody that's star stylist and above, typically to hit that pay rank, you personally need to sell 2,000.
Yeah.
However, they've tweaked that in the fact that if you are launching 5 people in 1 month, they realize that's going to take, I mean, Kelly, you've already been at a coffee this morning. I think you did one yesterday. So Kelly is doing one-on-one personal new stylist training with these girls. So she's having to put time in that where it's taking away a little of the time that she would have had these in-home trunk shows per se, or the time that she would be working to even book additional ones for this month. So they've tweaked that requirement that if you have people that have signed up and within the given month that they're within their jumpstart, within that given month, as long as somebody has sold 500, you yourself only have to sell 500. Now, we wouldn't hold ourselves to that low minimum. It's great in a month when it's slow and maybe you need to use that to get by. Kelly Cox, myself, we're going to still shoot for well above 2,000 because, hello, you're earning 25, 30%. That's the easiest, quickest way to earn, strong commission in sales. But I just want to make that special note. If that was confusing to anybody, reach out to me later. But there is a requirement that you don't have to sell as much in a month that you are launching several stylists, because home office wants to reward you for the fact that, they know you're working really hard to launch new stylists. So just keep that in mind as well. That would never, Kelly wasn't coming from a place of, oh crud, if I sponsor 4 of my hostesses and I'm sitting with 0 sales, I'll pull in the other 2,000, right? She said that, but really technically you would only have
pulled in 500. Yeah.
So just a side note, it's not something I would bank on. It's something I would use in your back pocket in a slow month. You would not need to use that in November.
You know what's interesting though? I do have a couple of leaders who are love to sponsor. And they are now re-engaging at a level they didn't before, because they're like, I like the trunk shows, but sponsoring so much more natural to me and all of that. So they are actually upping their level because they know they could be power sponsors out there growing, and they're not going to get penalized for not having really strong sales.
Yeah. So that's a side note for those of you that are working for Star and above. It's a nice little perk, and something that should not deter you from sponsoring your hostesses. Okay, so I think this call has been awesome, chock full of tons of detail. I know people are going to be able to go back and watch it live. We'll share it. I'll get it onto a YouTube channel and be able to share that. And then in closing, I thought we would try and do just a little role play as if I'm the hostess. I know it sounds like some of the times you're sealing the deal literally when you show up around the kitchen island and you're setting the jewels up. So I thought we could just, run through that really quick so people can kind of hear truly what how you make it sound so easy but confident and fun and all of that. So I thought
perfect. Okay, so you're my hostess. So are you frozen, Jen? Was I frozen?
I was. Sorry. Okay. I hit something wrong. Woo! Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Not a part going to come. I just saw a low battery a second ago, and I'm like, it's all plugged in. So anyway.
I know.
The first thing I'd say is, okay, so we figure out what we're going to set up, and I'm starting to set up, and I'm like, so the last 2 people that have signed up, the first thing I said was, okay, all my hosts this month are signing up because of this crazy deal. Be like, it's pretty insane. It's not going to be around again for a very long time. Definitely, for at least for another year. But it's the best one we've actually ever had. And it's for doing the exact same thing. We can keep the show as you the hostess and I'll be the stylist, and you're going to earn a $250 shopping spree on average. Or we can make it yours, and you can earn the cash instead of me. So you'll earn about $250 in cash, and you're going to get about an $1,100 shopping spree. And if you took that $250 and reinvested it 50% off, because you're going to get unlimited 50% off for your first 30 days, that's going to be $1,600. So basically, if we're doing the exact same thing right now, you're going to have a $1,600 shopping spree or a $250 shopping spree. Which one sounds better? And they're like, wow, really? And they're like, and then of course they ask questions like, what would you ask?
I would ask, okay, so what's the difference? Like,
Okay.
Does it cost anything for scenario B?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's $199, and we just pop online. It takes 5 minutes to sign you up, and we'll very quickly enter our show in the system. And we'll also get that new link out to all your friends, because I don't want any of the sales counting for me. I want it all counting for you. So basically, it'll take 5 minutes. We'll get you signed up, and I'll log you in. And I'm still going to do everything tonight. I'm going to be the stylist. You have fun with your girlfriends, try things on. But I do want to help you if you are interested in doing trunk shows. You know, if anyone wants to join or anyone wants to do a show, you have first dibs. Like, if you want those shows, then they're yours. And if not, then I'll do them. But yeah, it takes 5 minutes. Do you have a laptop?
I do. Okay. So let me ask one more question.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I love fashion. I love accessories. So the extra free product sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned with, I've got a busy corporate job, 2 wonderful kiddos that everybody keeps me busy. So adding one more thing to my plate right now, I don't know if that's the best decision. So I'm just kind of trying to process what is expected of me if I sign up, obviously do this one show, but like, are there minimums?
No, you do what you want when you want. This is your gig, your business. I've got a team full of women who most work full time at something else. This is their like fun side gig. So I've got doctors, lawyers, corporate bankers, stay-at-home moms, kind of women from all walks of life and all ages that love this as a side gig. You get to decide what you do, when you do it, and how you do it. But coincidentally, the fact that it's the holiday season right now, and the next 60 days are the biggest 60 days of the year, everyone's got to shop right now. So you are going to have girlfriends and family and friends who need gifts, and they can shop with you or they can shop with someone else. So it could very easily add a couple of $1,000s in cash, and obviously a lot more free jewelry too on top of that this month. So, but you get to decide what you want to do. We have, what's different about this business, it's evolved a lot in the past year, where before it was really kind of all about the in-home trunk show. Now we have women who just wear it and share it. You're our models, you're out there, you're enjoying the discount, you're our brand ambassadors. The more people see it, the more they love it, or they might, post something on Instagram. And my outside orders have dramatically increased over the last year. So there's been a major shift away from shopping. Brick and mortar stores are closing down everywhere. And so, people see women shop by, where'd you get that? Oh, I love your top. Where'd you get those shoes? But J. Crew, Target, those stores aren't cutting us a check for it. But this way you will. You'll actually earn by sharing things that you love anyway. So you can sell that way, sell on the go. You'll have this cute little app on your phone where someone could be like, I want that shirt. Swipe your card. Boom. You've got 25% commission on it. But you can also do online shows, in-person trunk shows. So you basically tell me what you want, and then I'll show you how to get there.
Okay. That would work. It sounds fun. I might as well try it through the holiday season.
Like
you
worst
said,
scenario, you're going to have a boatload of free jewelry.
Okay. Yeah. Let me grab my laptop.
Okay. Perfect. Sign them up. Well, literally every single show, people were walking in the door as she was signing up. And then one of them accidentally, Brooke on Sunday didn't click the personal website, and we went to go share the link and it wasn't there. So we had to but it's honestly, it's fun. It's not, it's a jewelry party. It's not like it matters if she's sitting there playing on her laptop as people are walking on the door. Right?
Yeah, totally. Okay. I love this, Kelly. Thank you for taking an hour out of your day.
Absolutely. Sorry about the dog barking interlude in the middle.
It's life, right? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone loved this. I think that this is the perfect timing to have this interview with you as we launch into, like you said, the next 60 plus days are going to be our best of the year. So very excited for that. Thanks
and
again.
Remember, every conversation over the next 8 days with the opportunity. You will not be sorry.
Seriously. Okay. Yes. Huge takeaways. Yeah. Awesome.
All right, girls. Kelly. Everyone have a great day. Bye, guys.
Bye.